Okay. So the first thing we need to look at today is we need to look at a case from yesterday. So it's a workforce problem. And it's a limited availability problem. So what's happening here is you have an operator. They are hiring what they call 5 people. So look at that and they go, I need 5 people. So I'm going to hire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so they might interview 10 people. This is the interview stage over here. And just humor me, I'll draw the people. So they get 10. And then they think that 5 will be enough. So what often happens, unless they are all full-time only, in some sort of professional services, or no, maybe it's not even that. It's if there is an option for casual, which is occurring, which is in many sort of lower paid jobs especially, then people are coming in, they're going, yes, I do full time. But then they come back 6 weeks later and they say, actually, I want to go casual. And I can only do X hours. So what this poor person here has then experienced is they've hired the 5, but then they're still short. So 6 weeks later, they have to then go and hire again. Now this time, let's say this person's doing 60% of the work that they promised to do, then they might be short 2, right? So then they go and interview, whatever it might, let's say it's just 2 times as many as they want. So they're going to interview 4. It's pretty basic maths, obviously, but 6 weeks later, and then they're going to get out of that, they're going to get 2. Now, if the same pattern occurs, they're also going to be hiring short because they're only going to get 1.4 persons, right? Now, also, underneath this, you've got a turnover problem. So if you're a staff, let's say you're staffing, let's say your staff is 100 people, let's just go 100 to start with, so existing staff, and you have a 20% annualized turnover, so 20 a year. So that means that you're effectively turning over 1 every 2 weeks. I know it's not quite right, but so 1 every 2 weeks. So in this scenario, then you've actually lost. If that's the actual reality, you've not only lost 3 people during the 6 weeks and hired for the gap, but you've also done that. So you're still down this like if you're just hiring just to fill a gap that you think exists, you're by the time it actually arrives, you're down 3.6 people. So you've got these people and the gap that's here. So most likely what we need to do now, obviously there's maths to be worked out or some and some business controls to be worked out. Most likely we need to be aiming, well, certainly what we need to be aiming is we need to be hiring for, let's say, 6 weeks ahead. So, but that requires, frankly, workforce planning. Now, it's not very complicated workforce planning, but it's the planning that actually needs to be done. So you need to hire estimated headcount to get required output after the known diminishment in output. So if there's a 6-week curve, so this is 100% of promised, and this is 60% of promised. Now that's not always going to be correct, but and this is 6 weeks. This is the diminishment curve. So it could actually look like this, but what we know is that it's going to end up here. Now this is going to vary, obviously, in various businesses. It's going to end up there. So that's the challenge that you have to help people work through from a workforce planning and hiring perspective.